Hello everybody and welcome to the BackStraight boys. It's the Olympics.
Yay! Now it's literally my favourite day
Ever.
of every 4 years.
Favourite day? Just the one day?
Because it's the start.
Yeah, the start day. Well, it's not the start just yet. Is it the start just yet? Is it tonight?
Well, it will be by the time this comes out.
There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is a little bit of an athletics preview from the British side and from the world side of things. So what I'm going to do to keep these two in check, I'm going to time them for 30 seconds apart, talking about these things. They know a lot of things, so they have a lot of time. They can literally do a 3 or 4 hour show just on this topic. So I'm going to keep them in check by doing this. So straight into it. We're going to go with the sprints from the British side of things. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Like, we've always had really good male sprinters. At the moment, I don't think we've got anyone outstanding. But what is interesting is the women have moved up and are on level with the men's now. So in the women's 100, for example, we've got Desiree and Asha both competing.
And Dina.
No, she's not doing the 100. In the 200, Dina and Jodie, and I've missed someone. And young Del Nito, who came out of nowhere, and girls are running like 11-1 now, and we're like, oh, whatever.
Okay.
Where before that, we would have been over the moon just to have one person run that fast in a year. On the men's side, CJ...
Done. Your turn. Next turn.
On the men's side...
that was perfect, actually.
On the men's side have always been strong. I think this year we're not really necessarily looking for medals.
No.
We're looking for final places, sub-10s. I do think I have to say that the 200 is looking...
Yes.
The men's 200, there's a space there for a medal, and I really think Adam can possibly do it. He's going to go easy under 20 seconds. I wouldn't be surprised if it is a British record, and that could very well get you a bronze.
Also, team captain.
He is team captain, yeah. Now, there's us two talking about it. We've got a couple of people here who maybe know a bit more than we do. With the relay after last night, congratulations on
Thank you very much.
You've won all the British records now, 100, 200 and 100.
Yeah, I had it after Beijing.
Of course you know you had them all, of course you did.
Yeah, which is
but that's such a
very
super fast time in the relay.
Oh my gosh, we were so happy because we knew that we were in shape individually and we knew that we were in shape as a team, but we've been practicing so well.
That's what I like to hear.
That's what we want to hear. And Europeans, we were just a bit disappointed that obviously we didn't quite bang out the time that we wanted to. So here we're really determined. We were like, right girls, let's go and do it. In the call room, we were like, Asha turned around to me, she was like, I don't plan on losing. I was like, of course we don't. Why would you even say that to me? I didn't come here to lose.
Now, I won't name names, but I was speaking to a former British sprinter earlier today, and we said, why have the British women's sprint team got their act together now? She said, because we all used to hate each other.
We don't hate each other. That's honestly it, because I remember when I came into the team in 2013 and they were like, you're a breath of fresh air, and I was like, I don't get it, probably because I was so small, but I was like, I don't get it, but then I understood that there were so many like
egos and absolutely
and
completely.
We just honestly see the relay as a great opportunity because it's a relay medal, but at the same time it's a medal. If you become Olympic champion in the relay, you're Olympic champion. There's no point hating each other, there's no point fighting over it. Just go out there and do the business, especially when you've got so many girls running close to 11 seconds. If we work on our changes, work individually, then suddenly it should work.
Our female sprinters are amazing. We have never had depth like this in the UK before. They are running 11.0 consistently, 11.1s, whereas when I was competing, listen, the fans would get really excited if I dropped an 11.1 or 11.2. So these girls are doing what I was always hoping I'll be able to do in my career. So it's fantastic to see. I think that they push each other on. They're really competitive, and I think it bodes well for a relay. I definitely think that they're a medal hope for 2016. I think that what we see in those girls is something that the UK has never seen before, and British athletics really need to hold on to that, grasp that, and show that all girls coming through should be able to kind of reach that level, and I'm really excited for them.
And you're not just in the mix, you're in the new British record holding team who ran 41.81 yesterday. I mean, that time's out, 6th best of all time.
Yeah, I know, I was running and I could see the clock and I was like, oh my god, we could actually run a British record here. So I just kept going and I went straight through the line and I was really excited.
And just thinking about that relay, I think that, and you know this as well, you went off really slowly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of room for improvement there as well.
I mean, safe isn't even the word, it was just, I just did it wrong basically, but I know, I've done it in practice a few times, like I know what to do, so I reckon we'll get it right in the next few weeks.
See, as fans and watching, especially the relays, we're just always happy when you get the baton round.
Yeah.
So safe is good for us. That's better than dropping the baton.
Yeah.
But you're going into the Olympics as the fastest in the world, and obviously America and Jamaica are potentially faster than you.
Yeah.
But you must be thinking about a medal.
But we're a world lead right now, and I don't see why we can't go for more. As you said, there were mistakes in our British record, so if we can get them perfect, we're going to go faster.
in 4 years we've gone from not even having a team at the Olympics to being the fastest team going into the Olympics, and you're part of that.
Exactly, so it's very exciting, and there's so much more to come, and I'm just really excited.
Now we're going to go straight into the world side of things. So who are we going to think win medals? Who's going to be the big players?
I'm just going to speak for the whole world when we say, come on Usain, because the other thought is too horrific to mention, when we're not going to mention it. Let's just hope he does what he did last year. 200 no problem, 100 is obviously more of a problem. He looked okay last week at the anniversary games, so fingers crossed. And the thing is, he runs 19.8, and we're like, oh, it's okay. If anyone else ran 19.8, we'd be like, oh my god, they're a favourite.
Okay.
On the women's side, Daphne Skippers looks like the favourite for the 200.
I think she's the favourite for the 100 as well.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Lane Thompson, Tori Bowie. I never, ever understand English Gardner, but never underestimate SAFP. Sally Price.
God no.
So I completely don't know what's going to happen at the 100.
Only reason Daphne's my favourite for the 100 now is she's really worked on her start.
Yeah.
At the European Championships, which is a different level, obviously, she had the fastest reaction time.
She did,
if Daphne's getting out the fastest, then you've got a big problem because she's going to chase you down.
But I do think that when other people get out ahead of her, and they will, that's a whole different matter, because even if you've got a great back end, people do tend to panic and lose form.
I feel like, I don't know, she just feels like, for me, and I know she's been beaten this year, she seems like she's my favourite for both. She's my favourite for the double.
You're looking a bit Father Christmassy here.
I was doing a Martin Rooney impression.
Distance events, so 800 upwards. Straight into it, 30 seconds on the Brits.
Well, the Brits, first of all, you have to start with Mo, who's going in the favourite for both events, the 5,000 and the 10,000. Fingers crossed he can do it again. There's no evidence that he won't, so I think by now we have to assume that he will.
Yep.
Our other big medal chance is Laura Muir. It has to be Laura Muir,
I love Laura Muir.
Yeah.
Just because for years we've talked about British middle distance runners not committing to the race, not believing they can win, hanging around the back, hanging around the curb,
getting trapped.
And then she comes along, like totally ignores all of that. She just runs her own race. She's so physically strong, and she's so mentally strong. She's never going to lose for not want of trying.
Yeah.
She doesn't really have that sprint finish, so she's going to have to take it out a little bit earlier. But we've actually got someone who knows a lot more about middle distance running than us. Who's going to explain that to you all.
The women's 1500 metres in Rio promises to be an enthralling event. Obviously, from a British perspective, we've got the two Lauras, Laura Muir and Laura Waitman. Laura Muir obviously fresh on the back of breaking Date and Kelly Holmes's British record when she secured that 3:57.4 in London. What was really impressive about that race is the way she wound the pace up as the race went on. She showed incredible strength. In a true run race, I'm sure Laura can medal. She's had some disappointments in the past. In 2014, she didn't make the Commonwealth Games final, didn't make the final in Zurich at the European Champs, but she's really improved since then. At age 23, I really feel she's got all the tools. She was 5th last year in Beijing, and she's a much improved athlete. A true run race, definite medalist. Obviously, we've got Dibaba and Hassan, who have spent most of the season injured, and Kepyegon, who's broke the Kenyan records on a couple of occasions. So it really makes it a mouth-watering final. I'm really championing Laura to win a medal. I think she's got all the tools. I think if the race is fast, she can do it. If it's slow, I'm sure she'll pick a spot in the race to wind it up. Really looking forward to it. Good luck to both the girls.
Thanks for that, Jenny. Appreciate that. So, apart from Muir and Mo, who else in the distance side of things are going to do well this time?
Well, there's things just to look out for. We've got some just really interesting people running, even if they're not necessarily going to win. Jo Pavy's here.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have 5th Olympics.
Yeah.
You know, Steph Twell's actually back from injury. She's running the Olympics, which is fantastic.
Ailish McColgan ran 4:03 for the 1500.
Quick, that. I was shocked at that, to be fair to you.
Yeah. Also the 800. Shalane Oskin-Clark looks great. Lindsay Sharp
So
looks great.
underrated.
Yeah.
5th in the world last year.
Okay.
She won the Diamond League in Britain, and
She's the
she won the
British
trials.
champion.
And people talk about Lindsay all the time for good reason. But Shalane over the last 2 years has been the championship athlete.
Do you think a medal shout, or do you think just a final?
I think that's a whole. Let's move on. If we want to talk about the
Women's 800.
I'm going to give you an 800 medal shout, Elliot Giles. I think he can do it. I think he'll surprise the world.
I do think there's a thing where once you get to the final, anything
anyone's
can
game.
happen. I completely think that's true. Also, it's not an open and shut case like it has been many years now. You know, the 800 is wide open this year. It really is.
I think tactically he's very astute, and I think he's got a really amazing sprint finish. I think it's a year too early. I think he's gone from 148 to 145, and at the Olympics you're going to have to run 143 probably.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. I mean, you never know though, because in a rabbit, I hate that term, rabbit. What's a pacemaker? Without a pacemaker,
yeah, of course.
Who
You
knows?
never know.
But you know, with David Rudisha, presumably,
I think that's a
probably
jump.
not going to
I
be
I have another expert
expert.
talking about the distance events.
Hey guys, I can't wait for this Olympic to start. I cannot wait to see Laura Muir smash up that 15. I really hope she comes through. She's had such a great season. I also can't wait to see Charlie Grice and Chris O'Hare smash up the 15. I just basically love 1500 metres, if I'm honest. And obviously, I cannot wait to see Mo Farah hopefully become absolutely legendary by winning another 2 Olympic gold medals. Yeah, I just cannot wait to see this. Bye.
We're going to talk about the world side of things in terms of who's going to win the medals in the Olympics and the distance events.
Do you know what? I think it's quite difficult this year. There's not overall favourites. My favourite in the women's 800 is Azam
Shot. I agree. Me too.
I think tactically he's brilliant. He was World Championship silver medalist last year. The women's 800 obviously has a very big favourite in Caster Semenya.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to argue with that.
No.
In the 1500, it really depends if
Genzeri Dababa's. We haven't really seen much of her this year, have we?
So Faith Kipyegon's the favourite in the 1500,
and Laura, of course, I've already said.
Yeah. And in the men's, it totally depends if he wants to turn up.
Depends if Asbel Kiprock turns up or not, doesn't it? Or gets lost somewhere. On the third lap. Also, I must say on the women's side, we think Mo's going to do the 5-10 double.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if Elma
Ayana.
That's all right. Elma Zayana wins the double in the 5
Well, she's the
and
fastest
10.
in the world at both.
She is. Now, Tunesh Dababa, she beat her earlier in the year, in the first ever time that Tunesh Dababa has lost the 10K. Having said that, come the Olympics, things might be different, but certainly she goes in the favourite.
We know that if it comes to a sprint, Tunesh is going to win, but Ayana may not let it come to a sprint.
Yeah.
I don't know if the 10k or the 5k is first.
No, I don't know which
make
way
a
around
difference.
it is.
See, the men's 10k was first event, wasn't it? First day.
I believe so. Is that London next year? It's the first.
Essentially, yeah, could be. Who knows?
I can't keep up.
Right. Okay. So next up, we're going to talk about the jumps.
British jumps.
Well,
do you know what, interestingly, the women's long jump is one of our strongest events out of everything.
And Katarina's not even in it.
Katarina's not in it, no,
potentially
absolutely.
our number one.
Yeah.
So, really, it's weird, isn't it, how events change around? Because, like, 5 years ago, we'd have nobody in the jump. And suddenly we've got more than enough
And we
people.
had really good, I mean, obviously, Kat won at the anniversary games, but Shara jumped really, really well there as well. So she's going back in spends at the
I haven't seen much of Lorraine this year.
No, but she's jumped far.
Yeah.
So how about the men's side of things? Obviously, we've got Greg.
Well, Greg's the favourite.
Yeah, the favourite for the whole event.
Well, yeah.
He's the favourite because although there are people who've jumped further than Greg, we know at championships Greg's going to deliver.
Right.
He's going to jump at least 8:30.
Okay.
And I'd put money on him jumping 8:30.
Yeah.
That is usually enough for a medal, often good enough for a gold. Now, there's people who could jump 8:50. Greg has jumped 8:50.
Yeah.
So I think it comes down to experience.
But also, it's that he's so dependable.
Yeah.
He's so dependable, you know. When has Greg Rutherford ever let us down in the last... What, five years, you know? And the Americans jump far in America, and they come here and don't perform as well. I think there's others as well, Australians, Lapierre, exactly.
Swim from Sweden.
Tornaeus, is it?
Tornaeus,
There's South Africans, you know, there's people in there who can beat him, not just Americans. But I think when it comes down to it, they're looking at him, knowing he's Greg Rutherford, you know, and he's looking at them, thinking, who are you? I'm sure you know who everyone is, Greg, but you know what I mean.
Right,
it's like he's got that kind of mantle in the same way that Mo has, you know.
So we've got that. Cover both sides of things there. The British and the world.
Just quickly, the high jump. We've got 2 men in the high jump, both jumping over 2:30. This year hasn't really taken off like other years.
Third the Europeans as well.
So that's both second. Well, they're equal second.
Equal third.
Equal third. And Robbie also got silver at the
World Indoors.
So Robbie's got a really good track record at championships so far this year.
If you jump 2:34 this year,
exactly,
you could get a medal.
I think 2:34 really ought to get a medal considering what's happening this year.
Last Olympics, 2:29 got a medal.
And also, what's his name is out. Jim Berry's out. Tamberry, sorry, Gianmarco Tamberry is out. So that opens up another spot. I wouldn't be surprised if one of our boys nipped a bronze, as they say. Medal for us is Ailey Child on the 4 hurdles, who's looking fantastic this year. Slight problem with the
stride pattern.
Do
you know what she really reminded me of? Do you know, Matt?
Don't know what.
What Ailey reminded me of in our last couple of races.
What did she remind you of? Of
Sally Gunn at the 1991 World Championships in Tokyo.
That's the first time you ever said that.
Because Sally, coming into the last hurdle, was in the lead or approaching the lead, and we know she finishes really strong. But she stuttered. She lost a couple of metres, and Tatiana Ledovskaya won.
Yeah, there we go.
And so, if Ailey can get that last hurdle right and really commit to it, and not, it's that minutes, that split second of doubt, if she can just plough, I think she should medal, because apart from Delilah Mohammed, who's head and shoulders above everybody else this year, it's an open field.
Yeah. But the throws, so from a British perspective...
Well, strangely, we've got 3 hammer throwers. In fact, we've got 4 hammer throwers, 3 men and 1 woman. Last Olympics, we had 3 discus throwers, and we've got no discus throwers on the men's side this time.
Like you said before, it changes every kind of year. There's always a...
But what a shame, because we seem to have a conveyor belt of sprinters or middle distance runners. We can't find any consistency in the throws.
Why is that, do you reckon?
I think there's not a lot of incentive. I think up until recently, people haven't been selected. There doesn't seem like there's a lot of support. Maybe there's coaching issues. I don't know. I mean, we have a big history of javelin throwers, and then all of a sudden we haven't got one person who can throw javelin. But we've got a really good Jade Lally. Been throwing amazingly in the discus this year, and we had a chat with her at the anniversary games.
I'm really excited to be here with Jade Lally, who's on the plane to Rio.
Yes, finally. Yes.
Because we spent so many years on social media moaning because they don't select you.
Me too.
And this time you didn't give them any. There was no doubt about it. You had to be selected.
That was the intention. I spoke to Neil Black after the trials, face down on a physio bed, and he was like, "Oh, congratulations!" I was like, "You haven't got a choice. You've got no say in the matter anymore." So it wasn't quite a fingers up to the governing body, of course, but it was. I just can't put my faith in them, and you shouldn't really. And I just wanted to give them absolutely no choice. I'm on the plane whether you like me or not, whether you agree with it or not. I'm on it. Yeah,
and we're sympathetic because we love all athletics events, and we look at when they take 10 people for a relay.
Yeah.
Which probably it's debatable, and then they don't choose you. And we say, for some of these events, we need people on that plane. We need people competing to encourage people to do it, to take up that event.
I agree. I was speaking to someone at breakfast this morning, and I don't see where the next generation are coming from because they've got no one to look up to. They've got if people are here and given athletics to go for the first time or their first year or whatever, and we've got no one in events, what are they looking to? Are they? You're just constantly looking at other people, and there's just more. I got so much more support on my last round just because I'm British, and I was like, clap for me, and the entire stadium clapped. I was like, oh my god, take it back. So just to have that, I think is really important.
But even to get to compete in the Olympic Stadium, because often there's not even a discus at Grand Prix events.
Yeah, there is that. And actually, this is the first time a women's event has been here, I think, ever. So this has been really important as well. Obviously, this is the Olympic Stadium, and I wasn't selected then. So there's a lot that I really wanted to get right here today, and so I'm really happy it went that way.
So you were back out in Australia and New Zealand early in the year. You threw 65, you threw 64, you threw all these massive throws.
Yes.
You've been back in Europe. You've not quite hit those heights, but you've been very consistent over 60, around 63.
Yeah.
What changed? What was the?
I was a full-time athlete then.
Right.
I saved up my money from funding. I was taking off funding this year, so which was okay. But I just took myself out of my working environment, took myself into Australia, went and trained with Danny for one, which is a brilliant training partner. The environment is better. I don't have any distractions of work and clients. When I'm at home, I've got work and I've got clients and I've got other things that I have to manage. So it's just harder generally.
So you've got some time off work now because you're going to Rio.
I do.
So we're going to expect those same kind of distances again.
I don't know. I don't want to put any figures on it, but I would expect my consistency. I mean, if you're hitting consistent 61s, the high point is going to be hopefully 64. So we'll see what happens, but we'll see.
And what is your aim in Rio? The final?
I want to get to the final. I think that's a big enough target as it is. Having never been to a global champs, I think I'll be happy with that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done on not giving anyone a choice but to take you to Rio.
Yeah.
And we'll see you back in this stadium next year. Well, maybe you're going for a medal. That's what we reckon.
Well, I finished third here today, so if I can just replicate that, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Jade.
Just very quickly, Sophie Hitchens in the women's hammer.
Sophie.
She came fourth at the
Europeans and fourth at the World
last year.
So Games as well.
Third in Commonwealth
Games. So fingers crossed she could do really well.
Yeah. That's it for today. We've done a little bit of a preview on the Olympics.
In-depth
preview on the Olympics. We'll be back during the Olympics.
Yeah.
Until then.
What's Portuguese for goodbye?
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
That's
which means thank you. That's all I know. Or do you want to start from scratch to go through it all again?
No.
I think we're all right.
Of course not.